C1music.fm. Let's talk about it. It is your host for the evening, Aaron Robinson and Jennifer Evans. What's going on, Jen?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
We also got our new host in the building with us, now joining the show, Madison Holloway. What's going on, Madison?
Good. You guys are actually able to see me Millie Rock on the block just now.
Okay. Today, our topic title is Falsely Accused. Falsely Accused. And the question that I want to start us off with is, should women be arrested for falsely accusing men? Should women be arrested for falsely accusing men? Jen, talk to us first.
Yes. Short answer, yes.
Yes? Why?
Because if you take away a person's freedom over a lie, if you falsely accuse someone and cause someone to lose their freedom or suffer any consequences, there should be consequences for you as well.
Okay.
I think that would give a person pause before, like it would set an example to give another person pause before attempting to do the same.
Gotcha. I agree. What about you, Madison?
Very valid. I concur. Nobody should be able to do or treat anybody any kind of way, as Jen said, without any form of accountability.
Gotcha. I agree too. And the reason why this topic was even brought up was because of the actor Jonathan Majors. Are y'all familiar with Jonathan Majors?
Can't say I am.
Yes.
All right, so Jonathan Majors, she said she don't know. So Jonathan Majors is the gentleman who in Creed 3? He's the guy that the main character was going after, the fight. Jonathan Majors. He was in a couple of good movies. I like him as an actor. He was a little suspect in that flowery pink picture that he took. I wasn't feeling it. On a manly side,
not feeling that at all.
At the end of the day, he's still a dope actor. So, actor Jonathan Major was charged with assault and aggravated harassment during his Sunday arraignment after his arrest in New York City. Officers arrested the 33-year-old Creed 3 star on Saturday in Manhattan in connection with an alleged domestic dispute involving a 30-year-old woman, police said. Now, according to the criminal complaint, the woman that was struck about the face with an open hand, causing substantial pain and lacerations behind her ear. Majors allegedly put his hand on her neck, causing bruises and substantial pain. He also accused of grabbing her hand, causing swelling, bruising, and substantial pain to her fingers. Major's criminal defense lawyer, Priya Chaudhry, on Sunday said the actor is completely innocent. She said she expects the charges to be dropped based on evidence. So this is the key component here. This evidence includes a video footage from the vehicle where this episode took place, witness testimony from the driver, and others who both saw and heard the episode, and most importantly, 2 written statements from the woman recanting these allegations, Chaudhry said. All the evidence proves that Majors is entirely innocent and did not assault her whatsoever. So I want to start right there because the reading goes on. He was dropped because of this stain on his reputation. He was dropped from the military as that he was, the main character for the recruitment ads of trying to get people to join the army. He was dropped from some couple of events. I know one of them was the Penn Social Planning event committee that's actually supposed to be happening this week. They dropped him. A couple of places, dropped. So this, because of this alleged situation, messed up his money. And so the question is, should this lady who claimed all of these things, should she be arrested? And this took place in New York. But should she be arrested for these allegations and ultimately staining my man's reputation and messing up his money? Madison, you go first. Talk to us.
So as you were saying, all of his gigs got dropped essentially because of, aside from it allegedly happening, it hit the news, and that's how they all were informed.
I guess, yeah.
So, yeah, if not jail time, she should be big fine, because if that's not defamation of character, there needs to be some money. If there's not jail time, there needs to be some kind of community service, something that would equate, because that's many gigs. That's a lot of money that is not in his pockets right now. A lot of lost opportunities.
Okay. Before we finish with your statement, I want to move to Jen and see what she says, and then I'll give my input, and then I want to say what type of penalty should she receive. Go ahead, Jen. What do you think? Should she be punished for this?
Yes, absolutely. In the least, she should have to pay him for punitive and compensatory damages due to the loss of, or potential loss of, or loss of potential income. So
Right.
definitely the income that he would have made from that. But just because of her false accusations, all of that money was lost. So yes, definitely she should have to pay what he would have made.
What he would have made? That's right
Absolutely
there significant, because you don't really know. Well, in the Army's case, they already spent the money on they're just not running the ads. But the money is already invested and spent. I think they said that they were waiting to see how all this play out before they push it out. But his name is already tainted. You know what I mean? So, but with that being said, what type of punishment? First and foremost, I agree with both of y'all two. The young lady should get a penalty. I don't even know if a fine is significant. I mean, because this is now a part of his reputation. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, which I'm going to bring in and say this again too, I feel like in our justice system, it should be innocent till proven guilty. But in this case, all his money got cut off and everything. So it was like guilty until proven innocent. And so we also got to figure out a way, the justice system got to figure out a way to not be too influenced with social media or the media to taint people opportunities in those type of situations. But with that being said, I think, just tell me what type of punishment do you think he should, in general, what type of punishment do you think something like this should take place? In general, saying, like, being that this happened, if this was ongoing cases with different people, because from my research, I only seen like California is like the only state that really has these type of something implemented in place. So I'm saying like this happened in New York. What type of law should they pass saying that? I know in California they have it's required to be a misdemeanor or something that I saw it. What should they pass? What should the penalty be? Should somebody get put in jail for a couple of years? Like, should it be a automatic fine? Should they have a tier fine? Like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, Jen, what you think?
So I think that the false accusation should, the penalty for that should match if that accusation was accurate. So if I was falsely accused of rape, and for that crime I would have served 10 years, then the person who lied on me, who falsely accused, they should get 10 years.
10 years?
Yep.
Ooh.
I would have. Let me say this: why I feel so adamant about that, because there are several, mind you. Okay, in the case of this guy that we're talking about, Mr. Majors, he actually wasn't judged in, like, he wasn't in the court of law. Like, it was just his money got messed up. So in the court of public opinion, he was already tried. You understand what I'm saying? So they
Right.
dropped him because of the court. Okay, we don't want to be associated with you with that stain on you. So that was the court of public opinion. But if he would have actually been tried, if this would have been able to carry on, and if there was not any evidence that proved him innocent, even though he was, and he would have been found guilty, then he would have served time for someone who lied. So yeah, I think that that would, like I said, give pause, make someone think before they just spat out. If a girl is slighted or a man is slighted, whatever it may be, and they just choose to get back at someone and lie and cause that person to lose their freedom. Yeah, I think they should actually be held to the same standard, same standard of punishment. So I think that would stop. Hmm.
I agree. As I stated previously, if there's not at least jail time, the fine or surcharge needs to be matched based off of the money loss. If there isn't a defamation of character charge for as Jen said, the same amount of time, or if they're being like too graceful to the situation, just entirely what I don't know the depths of the community service, but something there has to be something. There has to be equal. There has to be also something coming out about that person because as you shared, Aaron, this hit the news, this hit social media. A lot of people were able to see it, and the whole him essentially being guilty before even really getting a chance to have everything seen and having all of his money and opportunities taken away. She has to hit the news as well. Put her on there. Then some.
Gotcha. But I'm asking, so she said 10 years. The penalty should match. Do you agree with that? Madison?
Yes. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes because that's playing with somebody's life, and if you're gonna play those games, same thing or tenfold. Like that's you were gonna allow someone to have 10 years on a lie. Come on now.
Look at
And
yeah.
it too.
It sounds harsh. It does sound harsh to say, "Oh my gosh, if I lied about it, I should get the same." Like, this person who lied about it should get the same as if they were telling the truth and the person actually did it, what they would get. But honestly, when you think of the Central Park Five, when you think of Johnny Depp didn't get time in prison. What's the other guy? What's the other guy? There was a young guy who was a football player, high school football player, and he was getting ready to go to the NFL. He was 17. Someone lied on him. He got 5 years. And then the lady was, then it was like, oh, that was wrong. I mean, I mean,
I don't remember that story.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
look
remember that
at.
story. Do you?
Johnny Depp's story to an extent. The five gentlemen. Yes, but no, not
Brian Banks. Brian Banks. The young football player was Brian Banks. There's actually a movie about him. There was actually a book and a movie written about him because he was 17 and the little girl, the girl was 15, and they got like her and her mom got like over $1 million. They sued the district and got over $1 million for 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 the school district allowing that to happen because he got suspended from school and got 5 years jail time. But but he was innocent. And so it ruined that's what I'm saying, punitive damages and compensatory damages, because he was going to the NFL, would have made millions of dollars. Even after he got out, the Atlanta Falcons, I think he played for, I don't know, let me stop lying. He played for some football team, but he was already 5 years, like I know people come out of jail swole, but apparently not too NFL ready. So, I mean, he lost, even still, even if he did, he lost 5 years of a career in the NFL over someone lying, and she got nothing. Yeah, the mom too, right? The mom
Both
too,
of them.
and
Yeah.
she got
Put the
nothing.
girl on
They
Julie.
got nothing. Right? You understand what I'm saying? They got nothing. She's living free, got the $1 million, or I think she was supposed to pay back $1 million, but
Spent.
okay. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got
So
Johnny Depp. You got a lot.
I want to ask this then,
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer, Madison, and even myself. I want to say, what should we do in situations like this? How can we tell young men to avoid being put in these situations? What steps should a person take to prevent themselves from being put in a situation? I do have a list. I did found a website that says what you should do once you are in this situation. But I want to ask you two, what do you think if your son potentially could be in a situation like this? Any one of your sons could potentially be in one in this situation. So what advice would you tell any young man, any race, any color, any creed? What would you tell them how to prevent themselves from being put in these types of situations? I'm asking you, Jen.
That's short answer, stay woke. I mean, you have to be aware of your friends, your surroundings, who you associate with, and where you're going. You have to be, and I hate to say this, but especially if you're Black, like what was the guy's name? Irving. You showed that they literally
Yeah,
had
we're gonna go over
film.
that too.
Yeah, so it's like, what can you do? What did he do wrong? Literally, what did he do wrong? If it wasn't for these men being on film, they would have gotten jail time. They would have lost their freedom, and that's not to be
That's
taken
sad. Yeah.
lightly. Yeah, and so it's like what did they do? What can you do? Because what did they do wrong? It's almost like, what, I don't know if there's anything preventative that you can do other than to be aware. Just always be mindful that, hey, you are who you are, and people out there just hate on you and want to take what you have just because they don't have it, you know? So just be aware. That's it.
Gotcha.
I completely agree. Jen read my mind to an extent of where first thing that popped up is Black men, POC. Of course, all men should have in this kind of predicament. It's almost like How to Catch a Predator. If you're gonna talk to your daughters about, as Jen was saying, self-awareness, spatial, situational awareness, knowing who is by you, and all the things that women have to look for in predatory and insane situations. Men need to have the same thing. It's not just men doing crazy things. Women do it as well. Some get away easier because of situations of a slap on the hand, and then sadly because of race in certain situations. And so just being able to really sit down and talk to them about what it could look like, because in some situations you really can't eyeball if somebody is crazy or out to get you or what you have, but very much have to be prepared at all times. You never know. Stay woke.
Stay woke. That's the message that you're trying to give to the young men. Stay woke.
Stay woke.
That's the message,
It's a
Jen.
tier.
Stay woke.
It's a tier.
I mean, yes, yeah. I mean, short answer, yes. That's my catchphrase for today.
Stay woke.
I'm in love. I'm in love
I
with
would
it.
say, to me, I
Yes.
think that young men in general should, you guys should be in a situation to where you got to do as much as you possibly can to avoid being in any situation with any woman, in any situation whatsoever. I can tell you from my own personal experience, not that I ever got caught up in any issues or things of that nature, but with me being a photographer, me and my wife talk about this stuff all the time. And that's part of the reason why I hired Madison to work with me, primarily because I work with 90% women, and I need somebody in the room with me, even if she doesn't never do anything. The importance of her being in my presence to protect me, because, like I said, I deal with women all the time, and in those situations, if I need to do anything, touch a female or say anything, I can have Madison do it for me, so I'm protecting myself from any claims of inappropriateness or anything of that sort. But and it can happen to anybody, as we seen with the Michael Irvin thing, where he was just walking and he got stopped, talked to the young lady. And I don't even understand with the Michael Irvin situation. We can get in that in a minute. But I don't even understand why the hotel even wanted to go through all of this and press charges and everything. I don't really know if the woman in the video is part of that claim or that she was part of it or not. But, I mean, my man she went and talked to him. It was like, yo, like, what is he even getting charged for? Like, I didn't see anything of that sort. But going back to the point, I think that you need to, before you put yourself in any situation when you're dealing with somebody one-on-one, especially females, I'm going to tell you right now, I'll give you one incident just on a personal level. I remember I was dating this young lady, and we were like play fighting and whatever, right? And she had said to me, stop playing. And I continue to play with her because, you know, most of the times in certain situations, some females say stop, but they don't really mean stop. But she said stop. And I kept playing. And then, and mind you, this was like my girlfriend at the time. This was like my girl. And
Probably said it with love and giggling kind of thing.
yeah, stop. You know me just, playing around. But she had the audacity with an open hand smack me in my face. She smacked me right in my face. And it took everything in me. It took everything in me not to put hands on her. Not to put hands on her. So bad. Like I wanted to. And she was at our house. Her family would have heard everything if I would have. I grabbed her. I was about to start shaking her and like going crazy. And I just let her go. And I just got in my car and left. And she was called every name in the book on the way home. And I said to myself, I would never talk to that chick again. And after that, she was calling me, wanting to like make up and stuff. Now we dead, yo.
We don't do the DV.
When I met my wife, I told her, like, I told my wife when I first met her, I said, listen, the game ain't set up for me to win, so I already know. If me and you get into a heated argument, I'm not going to talk to you. You don't have to ever worry about me putting my hands on you. I would rather walk away, or I would rather leave, or whatever the case may be. I'm not going to jail for nobody, man. You know what I'm saying? Not for that. So I told my wife, like, you won't ever have to worry about me putting my hands on you. I'd rather leave myself, and I'd rather come back and talk to you when I know that at the end of the day, whatever you say ain't going to get me tight. You know what I'm saying? But I would never put my hands on anyone. It's just not worth it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not worth it. To me, it's just not worth it. And so I would tell any young man that it was under my tutelage, I would tell him, like, yo, it's not worth it. And try to put yourself in a position where, like, don't ever put yourself in a position where you dealing with somebody on a one-on-one basis that you don't really trust and know like that. You know what I mean? It's just not worth it. Like, You gotta feel comfortable. That person gotta feel comfortable with you, and you gotta feel comfortable with that person as well. If you sense that person is feeling uncomfortable, back off. It's not worth it, man. It's not worth the tarnish on your name. It's not worth any of that stuff. And I would rather cut my losses. You can always find another girl. However you want to look at it. It's just, to me, it's not worth it.
A shy stop is a stop, and Woo-Saw or Wu-Tang in those situations.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you. Like, going back to the story, I wanted to put my hands on that girl.
Open hand? I just,
like, to me,
I
I'd
felt
rather
the
would
sting.
have her punch me or something like that than to smack me in my face. And
Why? What do you mean? I don't understand. Why?
Me,
Why?
Being smacked in the face is more disrespectful than being punched in the face.
I think
I'm not sure.
I think a hit is a hit is a hit. So to me, I've told my girls, don't hit a man expecting that man, because you're a woman, not to hit you. Because you don't want to get hit, don't hit anybody.
Yo,
You
now,
understand what
I'm
I'm
gonna be
saying?
honest with you. If she would have threw hands, like she would have been like trying to fight me, she would have caught a body right there. I would have put it down. And I would have been saying I was defending myself. But you know what I mean? Just off the strength that she open hand smacked me, it was, to me, I don't know. I hear what you're saying, Jim, but for me, a hit is a hit is a hit. I agree with you. But if somebody gonna hit me at all, I'd rather than punch me in my face than you smack me in the face. To me, I just feel like a smack is more disrespectful. It's just more, it's like a punch is like, yo, I respect you. I don't know if you can fight or not, but I think you're a punk. But a smack is like, you a little guy, you know what I mean? Like, like they don't have no respect for you at all.
No, you didn't just little man me.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have no respect for you whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Like, even I don't condone any men hitting females, but I think if a man punch a female, it's like, yo, you to me, him punching you would be more of like you did something to frustrate him. But him smacking you is more like he just don't care. That's just disrespectful.
I feel like for women, it's more opposite. A hit is a hit still, and especially for a man hitting a woman. But a smack, a smack could still knock the lights out. But a punch, a very strong man,
but a man
could punch you into death.
To me, a man punching a woman, to me, like if they trying to punch you hard like that, like to knock you out,
it's a punch. Concuss.
It's a punch.
I agree with you. Don't get me wrong. First off, I don't condone any of it, so I'm not saying that it's cool. But I'm just saying, like, me and my brother got into fights before. I've punched him, but I ain't punch him to to put him down. Punch him like, yo, chill. You know what I'm saying?
This is the entry level.
Yeah.
This is gateway.
Yeah.
Chillax.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even condoning a family members fighting. I'm just saying, like, we got into it before in that manner, or even friends. I got into it with friends before too, where. You know what I'm saying? Even in those cases where they was playing around too much and it's like, yo, I told you, and you give them like 3 or 4 warnings and they still going at it, it's like, yeah. Like I've had that happen where it's the principle. I had to steal them and then, you know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't trying to hurt them or hurt them or whatever. It's just, yo, fams, like, chill, man. Like I told you to chill. Like,
you don't have to play about me.
In that case, Jennifer, have you ever been in a situation real quick? Have you ever been in a situation where somebody was playing around and you told them to stop and you had to like be aggressive enough to be like, yo, listen, I told you to stop. Like you get what you deserve because I told you to stop.
Made me get strong on you.
I don't, not that I recall. No.
Not that you recall?
I think my face is like, stop. Don't play.
Don't make me get past tone and face.
But I'm saying no, because like even when she said stop to me, like we was playing around. So, you know what I mean? Like even when I was like a couple of times we was playing around, tickling each other and stuff like that, I told her to stop too, and she kept doing it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm not a touchy-feely person to begin with,
okay.
So I'm not gonna be Yeah, like even my kids, I don't think like I didn't recall tickling my kids like a bunch or anything like that. I mean, I hug them, but I'm saying like I'm not just generally a touchy feely person. You don't I can say hi. I don't have to come up and hug you unless I haven't seen you in a long time and your family. So, yeah, I wouldn't even with my husband, I wouldn't
Y'all
no,
don't
I
cuddle.
wouldn't we don't what?
Y'all don't cuddle.
That was random. Y'all don't cuddle.
Y'all don't. She said she ain't a touchy
I think
person. I mean,
I think
Yeah, she said
well
family, but
that's
that's her.
different. That's yeah, that's different. That's a little different. But no, I won't sit up. I don't have to sit up under him. You know, if we're watching TV in the couch on the couch in the bed, I don't have to sit up under him. I'm right. You're right there, dude. So
I got you. I mean, I understand that. I'm like that sometimes too. Sometimes you do want to be up. Like sometimes I do want to be around my wife and be up under her. I have her up under
right.
me, whatever you want to call it. And then sometimes she want to do it. I'm just like, chill, fam. It's like I'm just trying to chill. Yo. I ain't trying to be booed up right now. You know what I mean? What about you though?
Even on the tickling, this is gonna sound like an odd fact, but in ways of torture, like if you tickle someone to an extent and at
Torture?
a strength, yes, literally, Nazis did it at one point, to where because you will activate the muscles in your stomach and you could destroy that lining. You could create someone to vomit. They
Jen,
could
you
pass
shaking your
out.
head. You agreeing with her?
It's possible.
She's actually right.
It's possible. Weird random fact, but that's possible. I am someone that enjoys, what is the love language? I don't remember what it's called.
Touching?
But it's not called touching, but yeah, I do enjoy it's not coming to mind.
5 love languages. I forgot them,
But it's one of my love languages. I'm not OD. I do enjoy space and giving space as well. But hey, if we could cuddle, I like that. But when it comes to like any form of DV, domestic violence, that's a no-go. Any form of doing that with your family, as Aaron said as well, it starts in the house on everything. Your first relationships, your first everything. If you get comfortable treating or being treated like you're in the streets from the house, outside is gonna be something righteous. But it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, no, I'm not. And then I'm very much someone that my stop, it's gonna be an actual stop. I do understand, like, when you're intertwined with someone, like, stop, chill. Like, yeah, that does happen, but, like, and then especially for a good amount of women, like, you do have to apply the tone. Like, yes, just the stop should be the stop, but, like, it's tone, it's delivery,
I
it's
totally
body
agree
language.
with you. Tone, if she would have said it in a different tone, like...
Because like you said...
I would have stopped because I wasn't, like, we was playing around. But...
What? So you want her to be like...
When that happened...
Stop.
Huh? Would you say,
Do you want her
Jen?
to be like, stop?
I'm just saying, like...
Stop it now.
Yo, because for me, on the way home when I was driving, I'm like, yo, like...
How did this transpire? I said stop, and it didn't stop. You said stop. I get smacked.
But more importantly, I'm like, yo, did she think I'm a sucker or something? Like, yo, you got the audacity to raise your hands?
You think I won't turn around right now?
Yeah, like, what? In what world do we live in where it's okay for you to put your hands on me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't fathom that. So I'm just like, yeah, I can't talk. Like, we done. Like, never going back. And one day, believe it or not, like I want to say like a year after all of that had happened, she had popped up at my church. And yeah, I seen her after church, like, what's up? She's like, yo, I just wanted to say I'm sorry. Yo, we good, man. I moved on already. Like, I'm past that. You know what I mean? Like, it was good seeing you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what you, like, you popped up at my church. What did you want? You know what I mean? What do you want me to say? Like,
She came for God and then some.
she popped up at my church. But I'm like, yo, I could never forgive myself for even thinking about going back to her, man. After you put your hands on me, that's never okay. And it's unfair for me because I can't put my hands back on you, man, because I would have let you know that, yo, that's not happening. So
Our smacks are different.
yeah, our smacks are totally different. You know what I mean? But that anger, just like, nah, yo, it's not worth putting myself in that situation. But on the same time, it's like, I ain't like, why do you think it's okay to even put your hands on me?
And that would make you a
my
punk.
attitude is like that towards anybody. Like, yo, you can say how you feel, whatever, but yo, you start, know what I mean, taking it there. I'm one of those people that'll take it there with you. But my attitude towards it is like, yo, why do you think this is okay? Like, you think I'm a punk or something like that? Like, why would you feel okay to be coming at me this way? You know what I mean? And I would be more on it like that, more so than like. And so I try to avoid being in situations where I see people like me and my wife. She'll, we go somewhere and she'll see like somebody acting up or something like that. I'll be like, yo, let's keep it moving because I already know like with me it can go left real quick. You know what I mean? Because I'll be, yo, what are you doing? Like, who are you talking to or whatever? You know what I mean? So it's not worth. Again, it's not. I'd rather remove myself from the situation. Or even now, I'm different because back in the day, we used to, fights and all that. We used to run towards those fights. Like, yeah, who fighting? Now, yeah, I ain't, yo.
If I get intertwined, someone's going to jail now.
I'm not trying to be a part of that.
You have to see the strength in that, though. I could see why the immediate response would be like, why she think I'm a punk, or like to feel that way for not retaliating. But that was pure strength. You would have been a punk if you did retaliate, just knowing your strength difference. And just the best response in revenge is just subtraction. And you did great with that because she came back to that church like, this could be the time. Reunited and it feels so good. Not for you though.
Yeah, that was finitos, man. We could never go back. Yeah, I want to be honest with you. One time, like, let me ask y'all this question. Have y'all parents ever put their hands on you in that way where they, like punched or smacked you in the face? And I'm not trying to put anybody parents out there to make them sound super violent or anything like that.
Hey, if a duck quack and it waddles in a... But I don't know about punches, but I was disciplined as a child until the point of, you know what? I'm not going to do anything for that. It wasn't anything too crazy for either of my parents because they were in their own like legal matters and didn't need anything coming for each other. And so nothing too crazy, but I knew even without that not to test either of them. Anger issues.
There you go.
Not issues.
There you go.
All right, so what about you then, Jen?
Possibilities.
I may have gotten popped in the mouth, possibly, but honestly, I think that back then that was kind of like, I mean, whatever it was. I think it was a form of, if you disrespect your parents, you get what's coming to you. I definitely wasn't abused. Let's say that. Let me put that out there.
Yeah,
first.
I agree. But I'm only asking because our moms are sisters, and I know your mom got that feistiness. My mom told me a couple of wars that they went through back in the day. So I know
my mom was
that
ruthless.
Your mom is kind of similar to my mom and got that. Yeah, it's down to throw them hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I would feel like this. And growing up for me, it was a lot of stuff that we could have got into. Me and my brother, you know what I mean, that I could have got into trouble and stuff with, but I always, and I tell the story to anybody, I always say to them, like, yo, I respected my parents to the point where I didn't want to get caught doing anything. So that kind of like, not to say that I was the greatest kid, or, you know what I mean, or I didn't get in trouble, but I always had it in the back of my head, like, yo, I ain't trying to, because of my parents and who they are and whatever the case may be, I ain't trying to be that kid that, yo, the pastor's son is out here on these streets doing this. Like I had the mental awareness to make sure that if I was, like, it had to be a secure plan that I wasn't getting caught. You know what I'm saying? Like to the point where, you know what I mean? Like I would, stuff that I probably got into that they would never know about it. We're taking that to the grave stuff, you know what I mean? But if it was any chance of ever it coming out or whatever, it just wasn't worth it. And that because I cared about me, because I didn't want to disrespect my parents' name and stuff like that. I respected them in that way. And I had that respect for them that I didn't want to make them look bad.
That's signs of good parenting, of where you respected them, like you wanted to meet them at that level, not because of fear, but because of outright respect for how they are, who they are, and what they're standing for, especially in the community.
Yo, with that being said, I want to go to we said the Michael Irvin situation. Just with that, in his case, he was in a situation to where the company was trying to sue him or whatever the case may be. So what type of penalty should companies get when they're trying to put men in situations, men or women, whoever the accused is? Because this can also happen to a woman too, but it's more, quote unquote, more looked at as for men to be in these situations than it is women. But with the company, should the company have to pay a fine or whatever the case may be? One of you two can jump in and say how y'all feel about that.
Worse. It should be worse than a single person to me, because you're, as a company or a corporation, that's money backing, that's many people backing. That would be possibly a legal team of their own backing, and you're going to try to use that kind of ammo towards anybody. And then you guys have cameras 9 times out of 10. The audacity. Let them say something about the cameras were down. Red flag. No. Probably worse than a person.
Yeah, just to interject, they had the camera footage. I don't even know why they would even pursue what they was trying to pursue, knowing that they had the camera footage. And what the camera footage looked like, it's like, bro, like how did your legal team tell you how to pursue this? Like,
tampering with evidence too?
Go ahead, Jen. What you were saying?
Double.
What you was gonna say?
I think it was a case of, if you look, you'll see the employees, like one of the guys. I think it was a case of a guy. He didn't want the lady to talk to him. To me, it looked like this guy, because even at one point, the two guys come together, not Irvin, but the two guys come together and they kind of say something, and then come back and I guess that's when the whole thing after that, because Irvin went off. But I think it was someone just hating. Now, as far as the company, that's a franchise. So you can't necessarily, I think that's what they were saying. You can't necessarily sue like the entire, let's just say Chick-fil-A, because each Chick-fil-A has a separate owner, right? So there's a franchise. So I think the Marriott, even though it's whatever, it's a franchise. But I think that punitive damages, when you start hitting people's pockets and taking away people's freedoms, then that will, it'll change things. I mean, come on. There's so many instances. You've got Emmett Till. What's the lady?
Yes.
I mean, you still got her living her life long, wonderful, happy life, free. And they decided not to, after 7 hours of deliberation or whatever, the jury came back with, we're gonna let her go. But yet, Emmett Till is dead. I mean, you've got, believe me, this is like, you've got men actually that are paying child support and going to jail for not paying child support on children that the court system knows that are not theirs. You've got a lot of injustice in the justice system. Outside of, like I said, Mr. Majors was actually tried in the court of what do you call it? Of his peer, like just the society. But the people that are tried in the court of law, they get done wrong. When you take away someone's freedom, when you take away their livelihood, then they should be held accountable, and you should serve if you're willing to lie and risk that person's livelihood, risk that person losing their livelihood, risk that person losing their freedom. Then if you are caught lying, then you should serve, you should go ahead and serve what they would have served and pay what they would have paid or pay what they would have lost. I'm all for it. Too many examples of people going free, the liars going free.
Yeah, so I agree with y'all. Real quick, just to we got 3 minutes left, so I just want to go over these quickly. The advice that this law firm had said, if you ever get caught in a situation like this, the things that they said you should do, it says realize the seriousness of the accusation. That was point number one, and they have a breakdown, and I'll put the website that you can go check this out. They said understand the cost of a defense, meaning that you should understand how much it's going to cost for you to fight this situation. It said intervene before charges. So before if you know charges about to come, intervene, get a lawyer, get on top of it. And then another thing that says gather any physical evidence and documents that will support your argument. Obtain witness contact information. So anybody that was witnesses in the situation, get their information, hunt them down, get their information, keep them on board. Do your own investigation or hire an investigator. And this last one is a hard one to eat, but consider a plea bargain.
That's what that football player did. That's what that football player did. 5 years in prison for a plea bargain.
I'm not, on a normal basis, I wouldn't say take a plea bargain, but I was never in a situation like this, but I was in a situation before, and it was like, yo, you can fight it, and if you lose, you can get 10 years, or you can take a plea bargain. The plea bargain was like, probation and...
Oh, yeah, based on severity. We're out and about.
Probation and whatever, something of that sort.
I'm guilty
Anybody
on paper.
who's in that, whoever facing a situation like that, consider the plea bargain. I know a couple of people who were in similar situations like this that it's like, yo, I'm maintaining my innocence, and they doing time right now. 10 years or better. And it's like, 10 years or better.
10 years or better. I'm
talking about 10 years. When I say 10 years and better, and 10 years or more.
That's why I say a false accusation. That's why I say a false accusation, they should serve the time that the person who is falsely accused would have served.
Right. So that is, and for anybody who wants to check out this website and do your due diligence, the website here is www.browninglonglaw.com. All right, so check that out. Find out whatever information that you want to put on there. Before we go, anybody want to say any shout outs or want to give your last statements regarding this conversation?
Stay woke.
Shout out to all of the stay woke. Shout out to all the falsely accused people out there. Anthony Broadwater, Emmett Till, Mr. Irving, Mr. Majors, Johnny Depp.
Short answer is yes.
Short
answer is yes. I like that as well.
Anthony Broadwater. Look up Anthony Broadwater, and you'll see that one is crazy too.
True indeed.
I believe it. I will do that, but likewise to Jen. Shout out to the men and women, whoever has dealt with false accusations. Shout out to God and me and you guys. Thank you for having me and the viewers.
I'm feeling kind of sorry because you started off this shout out to Jen.
I don't think I said that first.
She got her own personal shout out, and then you went into shout out to all the men.
Oh, I was mainly saying shout out to what she said, not to Jen in particular. We got to run the tape, run it back. My apologies if I did that.
I'm just playing. So we're doing something new. I hope you guys like this format that we're doing with recording and on our podcast. You know what I mean? So I hope that you guys like what we're doing, and you know what I mean, as we continue putting out content, man, rock with us, man. We just getting started with this, but definitely rock with us. And, we appreciate y'all, all right? Yo, we out of here, man. Y'all have a good one. We signing out. Holla at your boy. Let's get it.
Bye.
Holla at your girl. I'm not gonna hold you guys. It would have been bad. I thought of 2 songs as an outro.